Hey everybody, Scott Brown here with day 29 of the 90-day Facebook Live Challenge. And I have a question for you tonight. How much of your memory has been edited by your mind? And here's what I mean. We moved to Fort Wayne, and I thought that I remembered what winter was like. And I thought that I remembered what it felt like to be in winter. And I thought I was prepared for it. I was not. See, it seems that over the years, my mind has remembered the concepts of winter, the concept of feeling cold, the concept of the darkness and the stankness of what winter is, but the reality seems to have faded away from my memory. That all I remember is the beautiful snows and going sledding and hot chocolate and the heavy snow hanging on trees and those warm snows when it's in the 30s and it's not all that cold out without the wind. I forgot what it was like to have your eyelids freeze when you walk outside and the wind blows and it's so cold that your eyelids don't open anymore. I forgot what that was like. And I think that there's probably some truth to, we just remember the parts of our life that are the most pleasant or the things that would help us the most in the future. Because what good is it if once you're not in a situation to remember all of the bad things that have happened? You know, you look back over your life of where you lived and who you were friends with and all the stuff that you did, and you remember all the positives. Like I look back over my life and I remember back to growing up in Pittsburgh and what a great time it was, but I'm sure that there was a lot of times in Pittsburgh when I hated living there, largely because I couldn't stand winter, and probably because I didn't like driving in snow. And I'm sure that there were a lot of relationships I had there that over the course of time, I've just forgotten about the negative parts, remember the positive parts. So what else do you do in your life that you kind of push out the bad and just remember the good? And I say this because we're getting towards the end of January, and for a lot of retailers, this is going to be the time that you start doing annual performance reviews. And how much of what you are going to put onto a performance review is a true reflection of what actually happened throughout the course of the year? Are you blocking out those things that you either don't want to remember because they were bad, or you don't want to remember because they're good? Do you have the halo effect? Do you have the horn effect? What type of bias are you using as you're going to prepare those performance ending recaps that ultimately determine an employee's annual raise? And I'm sure that not many people mean to invoke bias when it comes to performance reviews, or really even invoke bias just in their normal memory and recollection of stuff. There are some, and I know them, but we're not going to call them out. But for the most part, I think we try to remember the reality, and we try to be fair about what we put forth in terms of our recollections of what actually happened. But if something as simple as forgetting what winter was like, which is a pretty big deal, if that can happen, then what else are you forgetting? How truthful is your memory? Or has your mind edited out those pieces which aren't beneficial to you anymore, which serve you no good, or which prove your point of view towards somebody else? So think about that if you're getting ready to do performance evaluations, and definitely think about that if you are planning on moving to the snow in December. Until tomorrow, my friends, stay warm.